We got Willard and Dibs back. Good to have Dibs back a day after the Miami game. We won't get into what we said yesterday. I know Dibs was listening.
I heard it. I had it on in my Alexa in the kitchen as I was trying to rock baby girl. She was coming off of her debut as a vaccine. It was a vaccination sensation.
Oh.
She got, when you become 2 months old, you get that first wave. Yeah, it's $1. I'll pay it. And
Alexa, play the criticism of the referee's show.
Alexa played 95.7 the game.
Yeah.
She said, "Are you sure you want to hear what they're saying about your beloved zebras?" Go ahead, Alexa. And I turn it on, and the slander. You three.
I was
Lauren
pro ref yesterday.
Holtcamp, you're coming down.
She's a great ref. She's doing a great job.
That's not what you said yesterday. And by the way, this is always one of the most. This is one of the unique parts for me, because we now have female officials in the association, and Lauren Holtcamp is struggling. She's probably rated lower than most, but how do you, as a coach and as a player, how do you approach being critical of a female official?
It's the difficulty.
Do you go the same way?
Yeah.
Do you come down her road like you would a Tony Brothers, a Scott Foster? So there's a couple things here. For one, the 3-point shot, they called the foul. All of you sycophants who I want more instant replay.
No, I want less.
This is what you get with instant replay, because the ref in real time, he had it right.
100%.
That was a foul. But then we go to replay. Well, he deflected it, and then and so that whole process to me,
Bill Kennedy,
is
how
whack.
you feel about him?
He struggled. It was a bad game. It was a bad moment for Bill Kennedy. The second one is the carrying of the basketball.
But it is a carry. By definition, and I know that
it's the new pandemic, the carry in the NBA.
What do you mean?
They all do it.
Oh, no doubt.
It's everywhere.
I agree.
But why did we
woke up one day and said we're going to start
so they send a memo, and then Jordan Poole gets banged 3 times for it. You could call any carry, any time on any possession.
It's LeBron's career.
Yeah.
I mean, but this is where I struggle. It is a carry.
Of course.
And it has.
So it makes you wonder, how do we get here in certain sports? This is kind of like what used to be called the neighborhood play in baseball.
Right.
On a double play, where the shortstop only needed to be somewhere near second base when he caught the ball, and then suddenly they decided, okay, now we're going to enforce it, which if you do it in the offseason and you really, really telegraph it and let everybody know, I guess I'm okay with. But, sometimes I want to – how do we get here?
Well, the one that
how do we
gets
get here in the first place where we decided that you weren't going to –
Right, 7 games in.
Yes.
We're going to send an email.
I'm with you on
the
that.
worst thing about it. Like, come on.
But how did we go back years ago? How did we get to the spot where we just decided, no, we're not going to call that whistle even though it's a whistle? Because we see that in all sports. You said you could call carry on every play.
Yeah.
You could call holding on every play in the NFL.
Yeah.
You could call anything on any play, but we sort of have these things that just evolve into, well, we're not going to call that. It's a star, or that'll slow the game down too much.
In baseball, if you drop the strike, right? Sometimes umpires wouldn't give you the strike call because the catcher dropped it, right? There were certain nuances. The one that, and you're talking about replay, and I so agree with you. The one where the guy slides over the base and his whole body's touching the base, and he just for a micro fraction comes up off the base, and you're holding the tag down. To me, it's like I get the spirit and I get the letter, and to me, we're too deep into the letter and we've lost the spirit. Am I wrong?
No, I especially that one, because
it kills me.
Sliding full speed into an anchored base is a very dangerous exercise to begin with. And that's why Little League, the bases go, they go flying.
Well, this is why I got so upset in watching, or not, I shouldn't say it in past tense. This is why I'm so upset about where we are on roughing the passer. There are so many things now. This is another one that you're bringing up about sliding over the base, where suddenly a referee or an ump is asking a human body to do what it can't do.
100%.
You can't run full speed into a base and ask a part of your body to be on the base at all times. The same way you can't run full speed at 320 pounds.
Impractical.
Getting by another 320-pound person, get to another human being, and then tackle him, but don't do it in a weird way
no
where you're
force.
Gonna, like, stop.
Hands have to be
on them exactly.
Run full speed.
It's so weird.
But then have your body weight go the other direction when you get there.
That's the rule.
It's not possible.
It's not the human being, because if you read the rule, and I go to sleep every night and I read my beloved rule book. The rule actually says
12 dots.
It's actually night. It actually says in the rule to the official, when in doubt, throw the flag. That's what it actually says in the rule book. It says if the referee has any doubt, he or she, shout out Lauren Holcomb, he or she is to throw the flag for roughing the passer. So that one's the rule.
Who's the lady in the NFL? There's a couple of lady refs, right?
I don't know the names. I don't know the names.
Dibs, you don't know the names?
Violet Palmer was the. No, she's in the NBA.
Yeah.
She's in the association.
She was the first and longest tenured.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, the NBA officiating is in a spot where it's now broken. And look at the Tyler Hero game winner.
Dude,
and
the shuffling of the feet.
Oh, Mike Brown's going to get a big
but it
fine
was so
today.
No, he
obvious.
should, because he pump fakes.
Exactly.
He gets his two-step into the shot, fine. That used to be travel. It's not anymore. I'm over that.
Yeah.
So he two-steps into it, pump fake, and he resets with another two-step.
Yeah.
We're now at 4, Tyler. We're
Mike
at
Brown.
4
That's
steps.
Corey
Mike Brown
Maggette
was
status.
I still, by
Second
the way,
Maggette.
you're right. He's going to get fined. I hate that.
Yeah,
I
I do hate
hate
it.
that. Why do we? Did
Steve Kerr getting the
y'all-
technical after they screwed up the Draymond and one. They both argue, double text, like, wait a minute, you missed a call, and now we're both in trouble?
Why does it have to be a fine? Mike Brown was calm. He was measured. He said how he felt. That's what a microphone is for after the game. We're asking a coach what he thinks. He tells you what he thinks. Now we have to fine him.
Great.
No, but he wasn't. He wasn't
It was
just
classy though. No,
yeah,
it
he
wasn't
was not
Why aren't you allowed dialogue?
Why am I not allowed to say
A dialogue.
I did not like this call. I don't agree with it. Let's go to the next question.
We got a tough
What's
whistle
wrong
all
with
day.
So
that?
if he doesn't go to the press conference because he doesn't want to say what he really feels, he gets fined.
Exactly.
So what is he supposed to do? He's
Why?
supposed to go there and go, you know what? I thought it was a good no call.
We're asking him why.
4 is the new 2 in terms of steps on a jumper. It's just the association and refereeing is broken.
You send the memo out in the 3rd week of the season. So it's like we played 7 games, about 5 preseason games, so 12 games in total, and now you want to send a memo out. So we got to adjust on the fly to this. You don't give us, hey, this stuff should be done in the offseason. July, this is the memo. This is what's going to be happening. So guys work on their game saying, okay, I can't do this move. They're going to call it a carry. Okay, I can't go in the lab and do this move because they're going to call it a double dribble or a travel. It's just asinine that you would make up a rule midway through the season, early in the season.
Decide to enforce a rule.
Yes.
Because honestly, I think we're at a spot now in the NBA where defense is almost impossible because of that. It's a dribble, my hand's under the ball, and I can do whatever I want, knowing full well that I can either go inside out, I can cross you, I can pull the J.
If I pull a shot and you do avoid me, you better give me landing space.
Yeah.
Because if I don't have landing space, and if I just stick my leg out ever so carefully and fall down, like it's like DB. I feel like DB is impossible to play. Right? I legitimately believe DB is impossible to play, and I'm with you on the defense.
It's gone
crazy.
too far because
I'm with you.
We all love the association, and I enjoy a game that's, thank you. It's shout out Tim Roy. I like a tight 111, 110 more than I like a loosey-goosey 135, 134.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Balance.
I don't want to go back to 80, 79.
No.
You don't want Van Gundy wrapping ankles.
No Pistons,
You know when
please.
Tayshaun Prince came up with that block when he chased down
It was
Reggie
Red
Miller?
chase down block.
No, it was like 65, 63 or
Yeah.
something like
Reggie
that.
Miller dunked
Fourth
it.
quarter.
Him
And
and-
it was like
yeah.
Looked like
65, 63.
like a
And I watched
Villanova game.
And I watched every second of the game thinking as a kid, oh, this is great basketball. This is so much defense,
Horrible.
man. It was actually terrible.
brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Oh, yeah.
And sending a memo 3 weeks in is hilarious. How often do you guys check your Odyssey email? If we said
I gotta do
if
that.
we sent a memo 3 weeks into something, Ray Ratto would get it.
this is
wait a
what
minute,
Steve
no.
Kerr
Ratto
said.
would get it in
This one.
2025.
Speaking of which, on the carrier calls, Steve Kerr said, I forgot about this on the sound sheet, but Kerr basically said, we didn't get the memo about carrying.
Well,
they didn't say anything about that.
You know why? Because like all of us, he's got password fatigue. I'm so sick.
I thought it was on the
of
spam
password-
filter.
No, like we're here. No one is stealing our proprietary sports content. We don't need 7 layers of verifications. Every corporation does this because I've worked in a variety. I don't need to create a brand new password every 90 days. It drives
coming
me.
down
It's not
Odyssey's
even,
road
by the
right
way,
now.
it's
am.
not
No,
even,
it's not just
it's
that.
not
It's
even
all of them.
corporate.
Leave that alone.
YouTube and Google just sent this. You're going to need double verification
so dumb.
to get into your Google and YouTube accounts
Well,
now.
there's a lot of thieves out there, though. There's a lot of hackers.
There's-
Thieves in the
whatsoever.
temple.
There are.
Everybody's at home, working at home, trying to steal information.
Nobody
I got
wants
something on
Matt
my credit
Higgins
card.
look, hit the break email. All right? We're all good. I know it's proprietary to us,
How do you
and
know?
it's the secret sauce to winning.
How do you know the
That's a five.
Hey,
Come
how
on,
do you
dude.
know?
It was like, it's,
Hey, how do you know the competition's not like, look? They're over there kicking our ass. We need to figure out their breaks, figure out their content. What's their big story?
They could just listen and time it.
I'm so close
How
to
do they
telling
keep winning the big day?
I'm ready to text Love and like, yo, do not sit on our guest list. Do not sit on our guest list. The competition will combat it. They will counter program.
I like how you turn this into a not very low key way to let everybody know we kicking their ass. Just let them know.
Just let them know.
Look at this guy.
Let them know.
Look at this guy.
Hey, he put his feet up. He put his feet up on the table.
I'm just saying. Look. They could be stealing our data.
Hey, got to redo the flex moment of the show because that was it.
There's a media article 6 years ago where the article had our entire playbook in the article. Remember that?
Yeah,
Dan?
Yes.
Just saying.
And they print the results when we lose, but
Always.
when we win, tough to find that box
Crickets.
score. But I don't want to go there.
Crickets.
Thank you.
The no-hitter last night.
Not a no-hitter.
It was a no.
You're one of
Not a
those
no-hitter.
guys. Are you one of those
no,
guys?
no.
You
Fun.
are
Wasn't
a
it
hater.
fun?
No, it's completely fine.
Yeah.
Hold on. There's no shade. This is
Anti-baseball. This is a
And
shocker.
If a giant did it,
Well, it wouldn't be a giant. It would be giants
Yes.
that did it.
Right.
So here's what I mean by that.
I thought it was a lot of fun.
Obviously, yeah, it was great. And I'm rooting for Dusty, by the way, and I'm not ashamed to say it. Go Astros.
Yeah,
But,
me too.
when we use the word no-hitter, like, yes, it was, the other team did not get hits, so it was a no-hitter. But we use that as a stat for pitchers. And so the idea of a combined no-hitter is a very different thing because a starter actually went 6 no-hit innings, and then somebody else came in. Like, we don't give flowers for a reliever that comes in. Camilo Doval comes in and goes 1, 2, 3. We're not like, ooh, no-hitter.
No, but
that's all that the relievers in a combined no-hitter really did. So all I'm saying is, great accomplishment, yes, noteworthy, but I'm going to set a night like last night very much apart from somebody who throws a 9-inning no-hitter. So
That's fair.
And that's what I mean by that because when we say a no-hitter, when we give Nolan Ryan through 7 no-hitters, right? That's
Different
a different
era,
accomplishment
Yeah.
We're not
than a
saying-
combined no-hitter.
Yeah,
That's
we're not
all I'm
saying
saying.
Ryan Presley no-hitter or
No.
Abreu
So-
no-hitter,
but like,
Montero
I feel
no-hitter.
like Bumgarner's
Those
on
days are over, though, gentlemen.
Thank you.
5 of the
Thank
last
you.
7 no-hitters in Major League Baseball
on.
have been no-cos.
By the way, though,
No-hitters that are combined.
But I also want
I
to
like
say
that.
this now.
5 of 7.
Because
Not a narco.
Damon Bruce, I saw him jump on Twitter last night and say this was absolutely ridiculous that they pulled him.
What
How
was
could
ridiculous?
He had thrown 97
And they need him
pitches.
for Game 7.
Game
It
7's
doesn't
on
even
Sunday.
matter. There's zero chance that he can get through 3 more innings without another 40 pitches.
And the guy coming in is blowing 100.
oh my gosh.
And
you're
trying
talking
to win the World
You're talking about
If
Dusty
it-
Baker,
if it had
who
been-
left Ortiz in or
Right.
took Ortiz out too early and left Pryor in too late. Dusty Baker needed to make that move just for Dusty Baker's sake.
If it had been 8 innings because you're up by 5, okay. I'm going to let this guy give it a shot. But it was 6 innings, and he was already at 100 pitches.
Yeah, 97, I think, yeah.
Come on.
And you
Come
may
on.
need him for Game 7.
Yeah.
So Javier and Presley are both a part of the last 2 Konos. Thank you, Sam Lubin, combined
I do like
no-hitters.
that. I like
Can
that.
they both say that they have 2 no-hitters?
Nope. Can't say that they have any.
But it is history
Right?
because, like, I look at Madison Bumgarner and his World Series numbers and his records. And I know Matt Cain had some World Series numbers for a long time. Those things still matter. Like, I remember them. And I don't know. Maybe I'm uniquely weird about that kind of stuff.
So all I'm saying is if last night was a no-hitter, then the Dodgers actually won a championship a couple years ago.
Well, they did. Even though I wanted fun of it.
But it's not the same. It's not the same.
Do we do that about LeBron James's first championship?
If
It was
the
in a
first
strike shortened season.
Wow. How many? How shortened?
I think it was 60 or 55 games.
60-game season,
Yeah,
65-game season.
you
I'm
know.
just saying, like, they won. You know,
They won,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there was a crowd
It's
in the game.
different,
Yeah.
We
it's a
questioned the
different
bubble
accomplishment.
championship.
It's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
It's a different accomplishment.
Okay.
That's all. That's all. I mean, I'm not. Again, it's not shade at these things. It's just if you. So kind of like last night. The pandemic title was just like last night. You did 6 no-hit innings. You didn't do 9. It's not the same. It's a thing. It's beautiful. It's a great accomplishment. But it's 2/3 of
It's
what
a thing.
what someone else did.
You guys want to play a quick little trivia game as we wait for our Chick-fil-A? And
Yeah.
thank you, guys. I cannot wait to get. I can't wait.
I
Both
said
these
8 to
eating
10
2
heads.
sandwiches.
I said 8 to 10 heads. How many Hey, everybody came early.
No,
Hey,
you better.
Brian Reynolds here. Do you wear a collar shirt today?
Do you smell Ratto?
Damn.
I'll duck out. I'll duck out. I'm not going to take the food.
No.
Evan Giddings, producer for Study Guru, was here at 7:15. It's like, what you doing here? Oh, Chick-fil-A.
He's working. He's got a belt on. He's got TV tonight.
There's nothing like listening to you a half hour ago talk about should it be Peloton or should it be treadmill.
No, I liked it.
And then
I liked
a
it.
half hour later, it's when's Chick-fil-A get here?
Well, and 5 minutes
It's out of
later,
bed.
it was, your boy's been eating a lot of salads. That's my
I eat
favorite.
salad.
That's my pool. 3 days in a row. NBC
We
Sports
are
Bay Area.
P1 listeners, dude. You can't get me off that show.
Thank you.
Trivia time.
Yes.
In what year
Yes.
was the first Kono combined no hitter? Sam, if you wouldn't mind dressing this up with a little game show music.
I'm going to
talking
say
about just-
Goose Gossage was a part of it.
In what year?
Regular season?
Yes. Well,
1978.
in what year was the first Kono accomplished?
1978.
Bonte? Thank you.
Late 90s. 1998.
I like where your head's at, but I'm going to go a little bit earlier. I'll go 1994.
Sam, if you have the biggest buzzer you could possibly muster, I'd like it here.
Yeah,
Possibly.
Probably like
This is not-
1902.
Yeah.
1917.
Okay.
The starting pitcher that day, George Herman Ruth.
Wow.
Oh, wow, babe.
Ejected for arguing balls and strikes after the first batter.
He was a red ass.
First batter, he's not happy.
Wow,
He probably was half in the bag.
I like that.
But Babe
I
gets
like
run.
that.
Ernie Shore comes on,
I
gets
like
the
that.
final 27 outs. Boston 4, the Senators 0.
Wait, the final 27 outs? So Ruth didn't even get the first
No.
out?
He walked? He walked the guy?
Yeah, he walked the guy.
Oh, he
So
walked
it wasn't a
him.
perfect game.
Probably
Those are no hitter.
walked off the mound and puked, yelled at the
good
ump,
stuff.
got run.
That's good knowledge.
So 1917, it was June 23rd.
good
I remember
knowledge.
it well. I think I was 4.
Yeah, but what year probably was it when a starting pitcher in the middle of a no-no would allow the manager to take him out? Like, that's kind of the point. If you're-
1967, Steve Barber went 8 2/3. Stu Miller comes in
Stu Miller.
to get the final out, and this was in April of 67. I can only imagine how hot Barber was. They lost the game,
He was
2-1.
He was on the
So-
taxi squad the next day, I heard.
Seriously.
He gave his
Wow.
manager
He got
a
sacked
weird
from
look.
town.
Yeah.
We, as
Did
an
you watch the Nolan
organization-
Ryan doc? Did you guys watch that at all?
Not yet.
Oh, my God.
What's the
yeah.
platform?
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
It's called
Sit down.
Chasing Nolan.
Yeah, I
Chasing
told
Ryan?
Butch, man, I'm watching Orlando Magic basketball, Charlotte Hornets, Atlanta Hawks.
You're going deep.
I'm going, dude, the league pass on the eye. The app works great. And Antonio Daniels, I told Lubman to book this guy. This guy was calling, him and Joel Myers are on a call for the Pelicans. They were taking so many shots at the Lakers. Well, you know why Joel Myers was, because he was a former play-by-play voice
Yes,
of the
yes.
LA Lakers.
That
So he's
was
got
a
some
weird
bitterness
time
there.
for him, yeah.
Weird time. So he was, LeBron guarded Zion Williamson late in the game, right? Zion goes in for 2 layups. In the next possession, they had Gabriel on Zion. And it's like, you notice this, Antonio? LeBron's not out of Zion anymore. He doesn't want that action. He can't handle that. And then Antonio Daniels, when the Pelicans rallied back, was like, you know, the Lakers, they're a front-running team. They dance and do all this stuff when they're leading. But now look at them. Look at their body language. I'm like, damn, these guys are taking shots at the Lakers in Game 8. And Antonio Daniels had Western Conference Finals energy. The way he was calling, I was like, dude, it's Game 7.
He's
bro.
fun.
He's fun.
He brings
man.
a lot of heat.
He was on a 10.
Yeah.
Not in the final 1.2 seconds,
No.
which ruined my damn parlay with Matt Ryan, some former
Dude.
Colts quarterback, hitting
Oh,
a
boy.
3 in the corner.
Antonio Daniels was just saying that he was like, don't foul, but don't play the paint. Let him have the layup. And what happens? Trey Murphy III on the Pelicans, Shasky. Trey Murphy III is in the paint while Matt Ryan goes around on the curl and hits a corner 3. Unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
Gotta love league pass.
I was going to
That would
say
tick
that
me
when
off.
Nolan Ryan went to get taken out,
You love this.
he's
Come on.
41 years old.
Look,
And-
Lubman acting like he's not watching Orioles Rays on a Wednesday night in June.
No,
Come
he's
on, that's
scouting
what we do.
Stockton Ports.
Yeah, exactly.
He's 41 years old. Nolan Ryan's on the mound. Okay, he's Texas Rangers, free agent. To the end of his career, everyone thought it was just like a token signage for a guy who's a Texas native, this, that, and the other. And they're going to go yank him. And they're scared. I mean, they are super scared. Buck Showalter, a bunch of guys on that bench, Bobby Valentine. And they go out there, okay? And Nolan goes, what are you doing on the mound? And he goes, well, what do you mean? It's time for you to come. He goes, you see that guy in that bullpen? You think he's better than me? Then walk your butt back into the dugout. And he said he slumped his shoulders and walked back in, and no one
Walk
could
of
take
shame.
Nolan Ryan out of a game. But
Yep.
that was that era of guy.
Totally.
Yeah, May
totally.
1st of 91, his 7th no-hitter.
Unbelievable.
You got to check out the doc.
34 years old. I love the well, not the big train, but the Nolan Express,
Yeah, the Sheriff.
Ryan Express. Yeah.
Oh, dude, he's badass.
He was incredible.
I
Don't
didn't
give
know-
it away. We haven't watched it.
No, I know, but I didn't know like him and Kenny
I lived
Koufax.
through the career
Yeah,
because,
I didn't know much about it other than the
I'm a
cards.
little older.
No,
but
but
yeah.
like he wasn't very good with the New York Mets early on. He went like 5 years as like a relief pitcher, and everybody remembers those amazing Mets teams from the late '60s. He comes in relief appearance and does some really good things in the
He's
postseason.
won World Series.
Right, but he was kind of like an afterthought. And then he's throwing like 105, 107, at least that's what they thought back then. They fixed his mechanics, and he has a 20-year run.
What a perfect transition. So a young guy who needed a few years to
Exactly.
develop. All right, so let's talk about this for a second because we've been listening obviously all morning to the. No. I got no disagreement. I want to take it in a further direction with your Wiseman and Kuminga stuff because thinking about this last night and listening to you guys this morning, it sort of dawned on me the similarities right now in the conversation that we're having with the Golden State Warriors and the conversation that we have had and will continue to have with the San Francisco 49ers.
Trey Lance.
They're exactly right. I wonder if everybody sees kind of how there's no one wrong here, but we're in a situation that is probably unwinnable. And it's this. When you have a roster that is filled with win now people, can you suddenly take puppies and put them in key positions and hope that you will still continue to win, or is that fair to your veterans? So, if I'm George Kittle, if I'm Fred Warner, right? If I'm Deebo Samuel, is it fair with that roster? Because if I said in the NFL, wipe out all the quarterbacks, take them off the rosters, put them over here for a second. Who's got the best roster in the NFL? Take the quarterback out of it.
Niners have a top 5, top 10 roster.
But you
top 5, I
can't.
think, yeah.
That's
I
like
understand.
taking-
That's
just
not
for the
my
sake
point.
of this discussion.
That's not my point.
Yeah.
My point is it okay to hand that group to a young quarterback the same way Steph and Clay and Dre probably did have conversations in the offseason saying, give us Durant, mortgage your future and give us Durant, because what they're saying is we are
You're on the same
win
page.
now.
But-
we are win now, and if you hand key roles over to unproven 20-year-olds, it's not going to work.
But can we at least like meet me in the middle here? The correlation, the metaphor doesn't hold water, because in this equation, it would be actually more Aaron Rodgers being Steph Curry, in that you're getting rid of Devontae Adams for a bunch of nobodies, because Steph Curry is the quarterback of this franchise. He's Mahomes, he's Josh Allen, he's Aaron Rodgers, he's Tom Brady. In the other way around, we have this great roster, but we don't have that Steph Curry guy at the top of the apex.
Yeah, but
order.
that's positional. I think the comparison absolutely works. You have a locker room that is ready to win, and then you're going to look at someone who's 20 years old, unproven, small college, no college, whatever, and then say, okay, you got to do some things for us.
You just think so highly of Jimmy. I think you can't.
You're
you have
taking
to
this,
remove the quarterback.
No,
thing.
Joe, you're taking this in a Jimmy direction. Jimmy is an irrelevant point of this conversation.
quarterback is relevant.
Let me step in for a second, because we got Chick-fil-A in the building. Susanna, I see Susanna out there.
I see your
I smell the spicy
Susanna.
biscuit, the
Seriously.
lunch.
You
Get
brought
a Chick-fil-A
me
sandwich in
chicken
here, love it.
sandwich.
Bring one in here so we can show it off. One thing I was thinking about last night: championship teams in the NBA, they have veteran benches. San Antonio, Miami, the Lakers, the Warriors, when they
had it.
Veterans on that bench. Right now, the Warriors are leaning on Wiseman, and JaMychal Green's been good. But you got Jordan Poole come out the bench, who's still young, still trying to find his way, and you're still trying to find minutes for Kuminga while you're playing Moses Moody. Is this bench good enough to win a championship right now? No, it's not.
No,
And so
it's not.
what happens around the deadline when the Warriors, if they are hovering around 500 and they are scuffling,
Which is fair.
and Wiseman doesn't progress, and Kuminga's not playing other than Santa Cruz G League Warrior games, do you have the conversation saying maybe we need to pull the plug and go find some veterans?
Well, the whole idea of let's go get KD
Oh, my
is
God.
not going to solve the problem that you really
Susanna,
have.
No, I agree, but
which is the problem is not your starting 5 or your top 6. The problem is 7, 8, 9,
you guys can argue
10.
again.
Well, no, but I think the metaphor. The reason why that I just scoff at that metaphor is because I look
a real MVP.
Saying that a team has NBA aspirations, you automatically quantify that they have at least one superstar. And the way I view the NBA, if we were trying to make a metaphor between the NFL and the NBA, you have to have a superstar quarterback for us to put you in that Super Bowl category year after year after year. So you have to have that star. It would be the reverse with the Warriors in that they don't have any stars, but they're completely balanced all the way around. Like Steph Curry is equivalent to having Josh Allen or Mahomes. It changes your whole mathematics when you're building a team.
Yeah, I think you're completely missing the point that I'm trying to make. You take the positions out of this. Go back to the Silver article, and Mike's going to join us at 10. They got you guys going.
Hi, Susanna. Okay? Susanna. By the way, Susanna's in the building.
Say hello to
Susanna.
Susanna.
Spicy Deluxe is hitting right now. It's fresh. It's hot. She's got my 2 sandwiches in the bag. Chick-fil-A, everybody on YouTube. It's not a myth, folks. Chick-fil-A's in the building. Ceremony Chick-fil-A. And you can get through those driving 2 lanes. I'm telling you, the lines are going fast.
I'm gonna be driving through there probably tomorrow morning. Actually,
right on my way.
On my way.
Me and Benny Chance to be in the line for hash browns.
Central Coast this weekend. My dad's 80th birthday is today, so I actually want to give an on-air shout out to Papa Willard. He turned 80 today. But anyway, my point is, take the positional note out of it. Silver's article was about veterans in the locker room not loving the idea of turning the team over to a young player, whether it's a quarterback, a center, a point guard. It doesn't matter.
And they have 2 rookies playing on the O-line.
Yeah, but that's different. So
you can't take positions out.
Yeah, because that's not as key of a position. You're asking James Wiseman and Jonathan Kuminga. We've all talked about this bridge that we don't even know if it exists. The point is much larger than what you're taking from me, which is, in general, when you have a roster that has players on it that go, dude, we're ready to win this thing right now, can you then hand things over in big spots to young players that if you do, it's probably going to strip you of that chance to win? That's what Steph.
But how did we go? Just for 1 second.
Yeah.
How did we go from 2 weeks ago? You come in here saying, and I'm just using. Jimmy just is who he is, to 2 weeks later. I mean, it's so important to win now that they got to have...
I can't get you to not fixate on Jimmy.
Hey,
but quarterback's so important.
But it's not about Jimmy.
Susanna, what do you think? The young guys, are you patient?
Hi,
give me
Susanna.
a thumbs up. Patience with Wiseman, Kuminga, or thumbs down? Do you need a veteran? Susanna, give me a thumbs up. Patience? She wants patience. Chick-fil-A wants patience.
I love patience.
Because you know why? Wiseman and Kuminga.
I got plenty of patience.
Kids love Chick-fil-A.
But we give the reason why, because I think quarterback is so exclusively different than all the other positions in sports. We give Tom Brady the benefit of the doubt no matter who's around him because he's Tom Brady. We give Aaron Rodgers his roster. We look at the roster, we're like, what is going on? But we give him the benefit of the doubt because he's Aaron Rodgers. And I think that position, because the ball's in your hand 40 times a game, is uniquely different, and it's almost impossible to metaphor.
I don't disagree with that, but we are collectively in the same spot.
With the Warriors,
with the Warriors, and if Trey Lance had been healthy, we're collectively in the same spot.
But they won a championship with. I'm just real quick. 81. You have a young player, and you had a bunch of veterans on that team, Freddie Solomon, etc. You throw Ronnie Lott out there starting day one as a cornerback. He's a stud. You have another
the whole secondary was rookies,
right? Except one, but yes, exactly. Dwight Hicks.
If your rookie pops, we have a different conversation. We're talking about 3 young players.
We got 1 game in.
No, okay. First of all, it's more than 1 game in, and that's the 49ers side. We can.
You're talking about the Warriors.
Warriors,
the Warriors.
Listen, I'm not calling anybody a bust. And Jordan Poole took 3 years. My point is, do you have time to wait for someone to be good in their 3rd year when we're trying to win the damn chip?
I get the correlation. I think it's a leap. I think it's a leap.
I think they're in the exact same conversation inside the locker room.
But
I think Steph and Clay are in the same conversation.
James Wiseman is a guy driving the train on this team, and that's where I don't see it.
He's driving the train to a 3-5 record right now.
These guys are arguing about God knows what. We're eating Chick-fil-A, folks.
No, this is good content.
Great content.
You guys keep it up.
Keep going. Keep going. I'm taking another bite. Shout out to Susanna. Shout out to Chick-fil-A ceremony.
Joe took a bite, so
Shout out
now
to the Spicy Deluxe.
I'm the only one who doesn't have a full mouth.
Magic Warriors 4 o'clock. The association. It's all happening. Willard and Dibs coming up next.